Hello, most people open Claude and just use it as a bit of a glorified search engine, but it can do so much more than that. In this video, I'm going to walk through 6 use cases and hacks that I think might be helpful for you to also get the most out of this increasingly powerful platform. Now, if you've been using ChatGPT a lot, Claude makes it super easy to take all of that history, that data from ChatGPT and bring it back into Claude. So in Claude, go to settings and capability, copy the prompt that Claude supplies, take that into ChatGPT, paste it, run it, copy the output from ChatGPT, and then take that back into Claude and hit memory, and then voila, all of your ChatGPT history and data and information about you is now within Claude. Now, once you've done that, the next step to get the most out of Claude is to do connectors. Connectors are simply a way of the Claude platform being able to interface and talk to other software platforms. Again, Claude makes it super easy to connect these into the platform so you can start to use Claude to control those other platforms. And to do that, go to settings, look for customize and look for connectors, scroll down the connectors screen, pick the applications that you want to integrate back into Claude, and then follow the steps and the authentication to get those hooked up into Claude so that you can start really unlocking the true power of the Claude platform. Now, once you've got the email connector set up, you can do some pretty nifty things with Claude, including things like give me a morning summary of maybe the emails that have come in overnight, draft responses for my approval before I hit send, organize my inbox. Another practical use might be to just ask Claude to summarize all of the emails from a particular client or customer, then condense it, summarize it into a single view. Then you've got a really useful summary that you can then read before you go and pick up the phone and call that customer or go and visit them, for example. Now, once you've got Calendar hooked up into Claude, you can do some pretty incredible stuff. Yes, you can do the basics like scheduling meetings, but how about this? Okay, so I want to spend more time with prospects. So I asked Claude to go and analyze my calendar. What meetings could I ditch? Where are the slots where I can find time to talk to prospects? Then I can now instruct Claude to, okay, you found some time, go and execute and book in 5 block time periods so that I can now focus on talking to customers and growing my business. All right, so recently a client sent me an Excel spreadsheet with analysis of lead generation. It was just a raw data file with things like the date, the product, whether the lead was won or lost. Not super useful on its own. So I asked Claude to analyze the spreadsheet, output a PDF which visualizes the data and drew the main conclusions around it. Things like sales manager performance, that kind of thing. Did it in minutes, saved me hours of work. If you want to take that a step even further, I'm about to show you how to do that using Claude Design. Now, at the time recording this video, Claude just announced a really exciting new feature called Claude Design. Not yet in a desktop app, so you'll need to use your browser, go to claude.ai/design. Now, most of you will have probably brand guidelines. So the first thing I recommend you do is go to the tab, which is Design System. And that interface allows you to upload things like brand guidelines, tone of voice guidance, logos, iconography, allow Claude to build a design system, really basically a brand kit expressing your brand so that every design it then outputs is consistent with your brand. Now, once you've done that, you can really start to look at some of the potential of this new feature. You can do motion graphics, PDFs, PowerPoint, all sorts of incredible things. Now, taking that example earlier of the Excel sheet, I then took this one step further than just PowerPoint and asked Claude to design me a motion graphic animation, which really brings the data even further to life. And as you can see here, it did a pretty amazing job. Now, I probably could do this manually. It would take me at least a day's work to do all the animations to this level of quality. So it's pretty impressive, especially considering this is probably going to be the most basic that Claude Design is ever going to be. So the rate of change with AI at the moment is just incredible. And it's very easy to sort of feel constantly behind the curve, but kind of join the club, because we all feel like that, and even the experts cannot keep up with the daily pace of change. I would love to hear how you're getting on. We're all learning this stuff. So if you've got a great use case, something I've not covered in this video, or maybe something I have covered, please let me know in the comments. I would love to hear from you.